Welcome to the Local Marketing Industry Weekly Update, brought to you by LocalMarketingSource.com. This update is taken from the Local Marketing Source Professional Development Program for local marketers. The Local Marketing Weekly Update is for those interested in marketing their local business on the Internet. For free Internet access to education and training courses, visit LocalMarketingSource.com.
This week's Local Marketing Update is brought to you by Scott Gallagher. Scott is the co-founder of Local Marketing Source and has become the recognized expert in providing online marketing services to local businesses. Follow Scott on Twitter at ScottGallagher5 and on Facebook.com/ScottPGallagher.
Hey, well, good afternoon, everyone. Scott Gallagher here with Local Marketing Source, and we're bringing you our weekly industry update. You can see, there's a few changes this week. As you know, I am doing some traveling, and I'm having some challenges working out of my parents' home. I guess I could go get a hotel room, but nonetheless, I'm here to visit with them, and so I'm working out of this week, and it's a lot of fun to be up north in Canada, let me say. But next week, our faculty call is going to be Wednesday, November 21st at 4 p.m. Eastern on a regular time. And I'd also like to welcome several students back on this call and next week's call. We've made some big changes to the LMS membership. And after listening to our students, we feel that we've put together a very solid program. You should take a look at it. It is we're really excited with it. But I also want to make sure that all active Local Marketing Source students on all programs are going to be joining the faculty calls on a regular basis. I'd like you to take a look at our private Facebook group that we've recently launched. It is a fantastic tool. There's a lot of different things that we can do with video and content to be able to drive you all in one central source and join the conversation as to what's going on. But simply go ahead, send an email to support@localmarketingsource.com if you're not a part of that group. Our memberships we've only got about a tenth of our members at this point in time active on the group, so we want to get everybody active on there. The membership also includes a weekly tip we're going to be covering this week for a local internet marketing agency as well as small business, and I will share that prior to live questions. So also, I want to get you to watch your emails. There's been a webinar announcement today. We have a surprise webinar tomorrow. It's a live webinar on the membership. It's got an overview with real actionable education that we have on it and live Q&A. I'm going to show you around the membership program and get you to where you need to go and what type of information you need to get. So I'll get into this week's weekly tip. Last week we talked about second-tier profiles, this week we're going to talk about review acquisition systems for local businesses. And then next week we're going to take a look at a social media footprint for local businesses. Now, a review acquisition system, you're violating the terms and conditions right off the bat the moment that you ask for something. It's not something we do socially. You know, it's tough to go to somebody and say, hey, can you say something nice about me so I can go around and tell others what you said nice about me? That's what soliciting a review is. But having a review acquisition system changes that, where somebody says something nice about you, and then you've got the ability to immediately and quickly digitize that and have that available. As soon as something nice is said, some point in time inside the organization, whether it be with a secretary or a nurse or a doctor or an attorney, a system is triggered, and that communication, that verbal communication, is digitized and shared on the internet. So it works for professional services. You could utilize a thank you card to use motivation for this. Take a look, for LMS members, take a look at our review acquisition system package that you can implement right into your agency or your small business. You can drop it right in. There's the education to be able to follow along with it. You'll want your your staff to watch the video as well and utilize the tools. You can use the PSD of the postcard that we provide to change it yourself, or you can hire a company to get it done. So make sure your employees are properly trained. You encourage positive customers to leave the reviews. These are the ones that are going to leave the positive reviews. And as we talked about, reviews do different things. They establish service area, they get you rankings, and they improve conversion. Those are all three major factors in search engine optimization or online marketing for a small business. Also use the HReview rich snippet when capturing testimonials on a particular web page. When you do that, make sure that you link the reviewer's name back to their social profile, and if possible, get that individual to broadcast that on their social network. But remember, don't solicit reviews. All businesses should have a review acquisition system in place. If you don't, as a local business owner, get more information on it and get that implemented. So this week we're going to be covering a few different things, taking a look at a study that's been out. 36% of mobile automotive searches convert within the hour. 1/3 of mobile automobile searches. So we're going to take a look at different devices and what this means and how consumers, we're really starting to get a lot of different information on how consumers are consuming different products in different ways. The three different style of devices. Also, 40% of all keyword data now is not showing up in Google Webmaster as referral traffic. It's just saying keyword not provided. So we're getting less and less information. And that the trend is not changing. Also, how Google is losing major market share in China and how that economy over there threatens search over in the West. And finally, a claim of a gentleman by the name of Ed Parsons that 1 in 3 searches at Google are all local, and proof behind it. So having said that, 36% of the mobile automobile searches on the internet convert within the hour. 1/3. That's when people are searching for car information on their mobile device, on their smartphone. Those are converting extremely high when people are utilizing a smartphone to search for an automobile. Extremely high conversion versus a much lower conversion on browser searches. And so this has been looked at for different industries, like the automobile industry, the restaurant industry, and the travel industry are highly affected by mobile products. But where the revenue is for a lot of agencies is in the service-based businesses, and service-based being business to business. You're going to find still a lot more desktop activity on that aspect and how to work with prospects and a buyer's behavior. The trend becomes pretty simple. As the sales cycle of the business lengthens, as it gets longer in time, the propensity for a consumer to utilize a desktop increases. Now that's a thesis, a hypothesis. Maybe we should set out to try and prove it. But that's what the statistics are indicating, at least in my opinion, and that's what I recognize. So we look at the consumer buying behavior to determine effectiveness of online marketing. Makes sense. Okay. Here's a couple of statistics. Tablet users spend more time looking at reviews and doing price research than smartphone users. Tablet owners were 3 times more likely to be influenced by positive reviews than smartphone owners. So reviews should be shown on bigger devices. What about desktop? We're learning a lot here. While 6% of smartphone auto searches want to convert within the hour, only 15% of tablet users do. And a substantial percentage of smartphone users, 42%, conducted lookups and research while in their cars. Okay, 40% of search refers are not provided on Google Webmaster Tools. This is a trend that's slowly been creeping up in numbers in time. Over the last couple of years, we've seen this. And now it basically says that Google says, hey, 4 out of 10 keyword searches that come to your website, we're not going to tell you what keyword they use to get there. 40%. That's more than enough for me to recognize in that they could skew the data in an infinite amount of ways that could lead us down completely wrong paths of trying to identify what keywords. It could also be a strategy that if Google is hiding certain sets of keywords to be shown and letting others, maybe they're trying to determine which websites are trying to flourish further with specific keywords. Who knows? In other words, we've never really spent a tremendous amount of time and emphasis on focusing on specific keywords. We focus in on themes. We focus in on geomods. So focusing in on specific strings may have not always been the best strategy. And this is clear evidence that the search engine is telling us. We want you to market your businesses, but we're not giving you this information because you don't need it. That's good to see. I'm up for it. I'm thankful for that. So Google is now number 4 search engine in China, and it just continues to lose market share. You know, they were shut down a couple of days ago, and they got some headline media, but they're only at like 4.5 or what is it? Yeah, 4.7%. You know, Baidu was running at 73%. They get more market share in China than Google has in the United States. And finally, 1 in 3 searches are all about local places. Plain and simple. The numbers have bounced anywhere from 1 in 5 to 1 in 3. I argue that from what I've seen, information from ComScore, that's the gentleman Ed Parsons from the Geopathical Technical Institute of Google. And while looking at all the data that is broken out there, he says, we don't know the exact numbers, but it's between 30 and 40%. These are not always as explicit as find me a pizza restaurant in Chicago, or a more generic search request for, say, football teams could be framed geographically to highlight a specific local place. So having said that, that's your info. Okay, now, for a local internet marketing, or a tip for a local internet marketing agency, last week we talked about LinkedIn strategies to acquire leads. And this week, I want to talk a little bit about video analysis using screen capture software to make a custom video to attract leads.